am back. I am back with another amazing show here at the HBCU talk show. I'm excited. Listen, this is one of my favorite. I know this interview gonna be good because I've been watching him. I ain't gonna say it for. I'm gonna say ever. I ain't gonna say it forever. That's how we talk in the South. Ever, right?
Yeah.
He's from the South too, so he can relate. But I want to introduce guys. Listen, he all things. He's an actor. He's a producer. He's a writer. He's a mentor. He's a director. He got a lot going on. And I want to go ahead. Y'all know him because we all watch the Oval. In the Oval, his name is Richard. And so let's go ahead and bring him on to the show. Welcome to HBCU Talk Show. Hey, Richard.
Thank you too. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Happy holidays, everybody. Y'all keep safe out there.
I know you get that all the time. You be at the store like, hey, Richard, do you speak to people that call you Richard?
It depends if I want to play a little game with them, because sometimes I do play. Sometimes, I've had conversations where people come up and they're like, you look like, I say, I'm not. And like, no, but I say, no, I'm sorry. I get that all the time. I understand. And then, but that bewildered look on their face, like, it's gotta be you. I was like, no, it's not me. And then you get the ones that are so shocked that it could be you, but they don't believe it.
They don't believe it.
They don't believe it. It's like, can't be you. Now you look, how they can't be. And then you get people to look you up, and then they follow you around the store or something, but you see them on the phone Googling.
Right.
So sometimes I have fun with it sometimes, yeah.
Well, I think I seen you maybe like a year and a half ago. You had to be in public somewhere. I said, that's the Oval. I wouldn't, I'm not that, because I see, celebrities all the time with HBCU, but I wouldn't go like blow you down now. But I was like, that's the guy. I told him, I said, I promise you that's him. I promise you that's him. You tell him, I was like, that's him.
We get that a lot.
I be kind of subconscious of how how y'all day be going. I know I get pulled on by so many people. It comes with so much positive and some kind of crazy. Because people crazy now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can't just be openly available to everybody all the time.
So we got this weekend going on. It's so much. You got a lot going on this weekend. We're celebrating the Peachtree Village International Film Festival. Is going to kick off December the 6th through the 9th in Atlanta, Georgia. And you one of the people that's doing some big stuff. You and I think Lamont, y'all doing this workshop, right?
Yeah. My good brother Lamont Rucker, who I've known probably a couple of decades. Who, we know what it's like to start from the bottom, and now we're here. So we're gonna bring all of that experience, all of that knowledge and wisdom to the workshop, along with techniques and craft. This industry, just learning what this industry is. A lot of people want to get in it, but really don't know what they're getting into or what they're asking for until it's too late sometimes.
What I love about you, what makes you different from most actors, is that you're teaching these classes. I see all your classes. You got a lot of classes you're teaching, and you really are giving back. Like, because you could be like, man, listen, I'm making my money. Y'all figure it out on your own. But to see you bust out these classes and you in your element, this is good for us. Like, we need experts to teach us. So
I mean, because I come from South Carolina, so Anderson, South Carolina, which is also the birthplace and hometown of our late great Chadwick Boseman, who was our Black Panther. Right. We were real close friends, but coming from that community, it wasn't really a community that nourished this or cultivated this in me. But what I'm doing today was not really created in South Carolina, in the hometown. It was really something that I got outside of that community, which is sad because there's a lot of raisins in the sun, so to speak, dreams deferred that are lying there in that community, who are just as talented as a Chadwick Boseman or Javon Johnson, who just don't have a way or a means or guidance to really have an opportunity to navigate into pursuing their dreams. Some of them don't even have permission to dream because sometimes we get caught in the limitations of our community, and sometimes we can't think beyond what we see around us. And so you don't see a lot of celebrity actors, poets, and all these people in the community down the street around the block. So you only see people going into textile, automotive industry, nursing. That's what you see. So that becomes the compass for, hey, that's what I'm going to do. So part of what I do is to kind of offset that for people to know that, part of that giving back and teaching and educating, one, primarily is to give people permission to dream and know that your dream is worthwhile. If it's something you really want to do, you can pursue it. And then it becomes about how do you prepare to pursue that dream? How do you develop your God-given talents? How do you give yourself enough knowledge to give yourself the best opportunity to survive it and not get taken advantage of as much? Because sometimes the business is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get the bad with the good. You know what I mean? But you got to learn all that. You know what I mean?
You're definitely in a cutthroat business. I would say that. I mean, I've been around it. I'm not in it, but I've been around it to see enough. I'm like, I'm good over here, me. And I'll say this. What was your beginning? Like, how did you know you was gonna be this?
I didn't know. I didn't. Like I said, I was coming from Anderson, South Carolina. I didn't see people like me. I used to look at the TV as a young boy and thought it was another planet on the other side. I didn't think it was something that was tangible or obtainable. It didn't feel like something I was going to ever be a part of. So I never imagined it. I never imagined being on TV or being in a film as a kid. I was a class clown. So a friend of mine was competing at the time in speech and debate tournaments. And one of the categories was duo interpretation, duo acting. So she was doing a scene from Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun with her scene partner. And he dropped out on her mid-competition, mid-season. So she asked me, I don't know anything about acting. I had a personality that she thought, I'm like, yeah, I could do this. I've got a good personality. Let me do it. And I started competing with her, being her scene partner, who's doing Beneath and Asaga, if you know the play, one of our classics. But we got judged on separate scorecards. And I started to see how she was getting very high marks and I was getting very low marks. And I began to see how I was disappointing her because she was used to being very competitive. And I didn't know what to do about it. So one night I was watching The Color Purple and I was watching Danny Glover as Mr. And I looked at what he was doing. I didn't know what he was doing, but whatever he was doing, I said to myself, I got to do it that way. I don't know. When I think about it now, I don't know what I was saying. I just knew that whatever it was he was fully giving himself over to, for me, that resonated as, I got to fully give myself over to this Asagai character in that way without having any context of training or craft or any of that. And so when I made that mental switch, long story short, we were state runner-up that year, and the next year we won the state championship. But even then, I didn't know it was a gift that was given to me. I didn't recognize it as a talent. I just recognized it as something I was doing for a friend. Right. And we just happened to win these big trophies. But I wasn't thinking, now I'm going to go off and be an actor, because again, that wasn't the mindset of the people in my community. I wasn't even thinking about going to college. That happened because my high school choir director made me go. Right. Not because that wasn't what my maternal side of the family did, and that's the family I grew up with. So that was an aspiration. So I've been kind of God-driven on this thing, and I just walked by faith with this. And I didn't know what the destination was. I just knew that I was given a voice, and I had to first understand that I was given a voice, and then understand that there was something special about me, and there was a purpose somewhere. And so for me, it was just like, let me just take this ride, because I had no real definite point for my future. Other than I'm just exploring this thing and I'm trusting that it's going to take me somewhere. And that's kind of been how I kind of organically and spiritually moved through this journey.
Wow. And I've seen a couple of your other interviews and you talk about the word journey a lot. Yeah. I like that because a lot of people don't understand the definition of the word journey. So for you to talk about, I don't worry about nobody. I think what she said, I don't worry about nobody else's business. I'm just trying to take care of my journey. This is my journey. That's how I feel. I'll be like, I don't care. Whatever y'all got going on, that's y'all. Over here, absolutely. I'm working here because I got a lot going on over here. So that's good. Yeah. That's a good way to have, or the good way to to express yourself. What made you decide to accept the job on the Oval? I mean, what was that?
I mean, well, first of all, let me say this. Generally speaking, as a teacher, I tell you, don't submit for any job that you're not willing to accept. That's just why put yourself out there as a possibility, a choice, and then choose to know I don't want to do that. You need to say that from the that's like getting an interview at Burger King, getting hired, and be like, I don't want to work at Burger King. Well, some people are not going to spend. Yeah, some people are not going to respond well to that because now you're going to get on their blacklist, their bad list, and it's like you're building a reputation for misrepresenting yourself. So the first thing is that anything I audition for, I'm already accepting the job if it's offered to me.
Right.
But I had worked with Tyler Perry, obviously, before that point over the years. It's always been a great time. And the Oval was the biggest opportunity at TPS that I had been offered. So to be a series regular on a TV show is always a blessed opportunity. And it's a different level and a different challenge for you as a professional actor to be
Right.
able to be in that position on a series. So I definitely wanted that challenge. And there's other challenges with TPS beyond that because TP, he does things the way he does it. And it's not necessarily conventional in terms of what we expect from one production to another. But the pace is extremely fast. The preparation is a little more demanding in terms of keeping up that pace. So there was a lot of challenges that I embraced and look forward to. Of course, with every challenge, there's opportunity for more growth.
So I know you did other stuff. What was the other? You did plays with him too, right?
No, I actually didn't do any of his plays. I did House of Pain. I did Daddy's Little Girls,
That's what I remember.
and then I did Boo and Medea Halloween.
That okay? What were you
Yeah,
in? I promise you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Medea
yeah,
Halloween is everything to me.
yeah.
I can watch
It's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and laugh, laugh, laugh.
yeah,
What
yeah, yeah.
position did you play with that movie?
I was the little girl's the lead girl's I can't remember her name, forgive me. Her dad, I was the pastor
That's why you was the pastor.
When Medea busted into
That
the
movie
church.
was funny. I don't
Yeah,
care what
yeah,
to this day, hands down. I
yeah.
can watch that movie 3 times in one. Yeah, it was just
Yeah, it's
hilarious. Funny movie. It really was.
absolutely.
I remember being a pastor in that movie. That's right. So what's
Yeah.
next for you? I know you got this weekend. What does 2024 looks like?
2024 is obviously more. I'm always teaching, always, teaching actors, teaching screenwriters. That's a consistent thing. But outside of that, expect to see. I got a feature film that's in post right now called Once in a Valentine's Day film. So look out for that with my producing partner Jesse Jalay. Really more on the producing, directing film side.
Okay.
So just look for a lot more feature films. We're in pre-production now for another feature film called The Stuttering Preacher, written by my good brother Lee Simon out of LA. So I got a slate of films down the line
Right.
that we're going to break into. So more directing, more producing, and maybe jumping into some acting in some of those too.
So how do you balance being a actor, producer, director, and writer? How do you balance?
Drink a lot. Now, it's playing. I'm kidding. Don't drink. Everybody. Drinking is not good. No, my rule of thumb is this, at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own sanity and your own peace.
Right.
You can't blame that on anybody, right? Anybody say, it's your fault. Nah, you really got to turn that mirror on yourself and say, how do I allow this? How do I allow my peace to be taken away from me? How did I contribute to giving it away? So when I move, I always keep peace and sanity as a priority. So it doesn't matter if I'm doing 5 or 10 things. It matters that I only do the things that I can do at that given time, at that period. Because if you got a lot going on in your life and you're trying to still do 10 things at the same time, now you're losing your mind, now you're stressed out, hypertension, everything's going wrong. Now you're cussing people out for no reason. People don't know why you're talking, why you're acting the way you're acting. Javon used to be so cool. What's wrong with him today? I don't want to have to deal with that because I regulate my status of peace. I control that. So I don't do any more than I can handle at any given time. And you got to be able to say no. You got to be able to say no. You got to be able to say, hey, not today, but it's coming. And I'll make sure I take care of myself in regards to that. So that I can continue to do all of these things without losing my mind.
Right. Because I'm like, man, when I seen that title, I was like, man, how do he balance that? But the thing about it, I feel like when God make you equipped for something, he give you the task for it. He will equip you to do what he has called you to do. I'm a living that. So, it's all about balancing and making sure you know what to do at that appointed time. So you told me what's next for you this weekend. What will you and Lamar be talking about with the I think it's a scene study workshop.
Yeah, yeah.
What what does that mean?
It's titled a scene study workshop, but trust me, you're just going to get way more than that. I mean, that's just a part of it. Like I say, you're going to get decades of experience from two brothers who have been doing it for from the mud, getting it from the mud, as they
Mhm.
say. Um, so there's just a lot that we're going to bring to the table, just in terms of just knowing what this is, right? Knowing what it is, because sometimes people wake up and they see it and they're like, "Oh, that's what I want," and then you
Mhm.
find out really there's a lot of stuff behind the image that I didn't know.
Mhm.
Um, Even the business side of it, representation and materials, and how to get from point A to point B to point C, and all those things that you run around chasing the answers. Well, just come to the workshop and you're going to get a lot of those answers.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about HBCU.
Mhm.
You went to HBCU, so can you tell them what school did you go to?
NC State, South Carolina State University, Bulldog tenacity, baby. Yeah, Orangeburg, South Carolina. Yeah,
So did you
they got Claflin right next to us. So a little shout out to the people next door. But
so did you play basketball? Did you play football?
no, I'm not in college. I played football in high school. I was getting recruited for college ball, but I didn't really like playing football as an idea for college. It wasn't. I like playing it with people I grew up with and hung
Right.
out with. But once I started going to like these collegiate taking colleges taking a look at me, I was like, I don't really want to do this for the next 4 years, and I had no aspirations of possibly going pro in football because so that died really quickly.
Because I know you're real tall, so I thought you probably would have
Yeah.
played
No,
basketball.
I'm only 6 feet. You're probably real short,
I'm
but
sure I'm five. I must admit, I'm five.
yeah, I'm average. I'm six
Yes.
feet.
So you say
Yeah,
six? I thought you was taller than
yeah,
that. I thought
yeah,
that.
yeah. I just walk high. I just walk tall.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
This is good. So what did you
yeah.
do in HBCU? What was your takeaway from HBCU? Did you really get the experience for real?
Yeah, you know what the thing I love about HBCU, having that experience is because right after HBCU, I went to a predominantly white graduate institution at the University of Pittsburgh, and there was some other scenarios where I worked with a predominantly white company of people. There's nothing like being in the culture of Black people in education, and just getting full of your people and your culture, and it kind of this energy is different. You know, this energy is different on a Black campus. There's, the camaraderie, the connection, just the spiritual connection is just different. And that sustained me as I moved beyond that and start working with people that did not look like me.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we get out there and we don't know how to be confident in our Blackness. We don't know how to be properly prideful in our melanin. And sometimes we downplay ourselves because we're just not sure of ourselves. But HBCU for me makes us very sure of who
Oh
we
yeah.
are, and it's okay. It's okay to know you have a degree and to stand on the hard work you put in, and it's okay to speak when you need to speak, and knowing how to do all those things. So that's the biggest benefit I got of being HBCU.
So the last question of today, what will you say to someone who is coming behind you? Or what kind of language will you leave a person who wants to be in your shoes? What advice would you give them?
The first thing I would do is ask why, because everything from that moment on is going to depend on your answer. Because if you say, man, I want to do what Javon Johnson is doing, or Lamar Rucker is doing, or anybody like that. You can't do it just because we are doing it. You got to do it because you know why you want to do it. And there's nothing wrong with your answer if you say, man, I just want to be famous. Okay, well, respectfully, every decision you make from now on will be about you just wanting to be famous.
Right.
Um,
You sound like a teacher for real.
right? I'm just saying that's what it is. If you want to do it because it's the only thing you got in your life that gives you a reason, a voice, and you want to use that voice to affect people, then you got a different. Every decision you make is about that, which means that's a different route than the person that just wants to be famous. They
Mhm.
can't go the same route and get to the same place. So you really got to ask yourself why you want to do it. And that why has to be so strong because this is an incredibly challenging, tough industry. People will give up quickly. people will get sucked up by it and lose themselves and get destroyed and become something they never meant to become. If your answer to your why isn't strong enough to keep you holding on to the integrity of why you're doing what you want to do. So that's at the core of it all. Outside of that, preparation, training, invest in yourself. Shortcuts are out there; they're available, but shortcuts are also short-lived most of the time. So depends on how much of a career you want in this business. You want to be around for a while. You just want to skate on top of the ice until it cracks, and we don't hear from you no more. But yeah, preparation, training is everything. Investing in yourself, meaning don't be afraid to spend money on your own development, because you are the product. You are the product, and if you have nothing to offer the industry, then why would the industry want to buy into you, right? So make sure you are worth something. Make sure you are value, and you can increase your value when you take care of and nourish and grow your skills and your knowledge of this industry. So I'll just say that for now. Outside of that, come train with me. You'll be good.
Put that plug in there. Put that plug in there. I say this right here. You done worked on the Oval. You worked on Boo, Tyler Perry. You worked on so many different projects. What in your eyes do you want your legacy to look like? When you close your eyes and we back down, what do you want people to say about Javon Johnson?
At the end of the day, I want people to be moved and inspired by whatever I do. I don't want people to see me do something and it's like, okay, well, we can forget about that. That wasn't, but I wasn't affected by it. But I want people to, one, say, hey, you know what? I want to do that because he did it, and I like the way he did it, and it touched me a certain way. And so that means a lot to me. And then I want a whole bunch of people still speaking my name, saying I am here because Javon, blah, 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 blah. Because I believe in planting seeds, and the harvest will come afterwards. And I think, we're not here just for us. We're here to contribute to all this, and that's bigger than us. And so I think once you're gone, if nobody's speaking your name, I don't think you did what you're supposed to do while you was here.
While you was here. That's good. We appreciate you for stopping through. I don't know that they tell you, but you will be on the cover of HBCU magazine. You'll get the cover tomorrow.
I am. I'm going to be on the cover? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Listen. Peachtree Village International Film Festival, they took care of that for you. So we'll be sending that cover out, and once we'll make it live, and we're excited to have you. Thank you so much for serving your community and all the things you do. You do a million things. I'm like, how do you sleep? When do you sleep? I don't sleep.
Well, whenever it happens.
You like me? Just laying aside and get the little cat and get ready to do it.
I'm going to take a quick nap right after this interview.
Well, nice to see you. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for all you do for us, and we will talk to you soon, sir. You take care now.
All right. You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.